Crossing into the United States used to be routine for Canadians. Now it's anything but. One New Brunswick professor says his last attempt to visit ended in a nightmare detention. He says he was whisked away into secondary screening and held for 3 hours while agents searched his phone and bag with no explanation. After that experience, and with his phone held 45 minutes, he's vowed never to return. He's not alone. In recent months, U.S. border agents have intensified device inspections at an unprecedented rate. Official data show nearly 15,000 phones, laptops, and tablets were searched at the U.S. Canada border from April through June 2025, a record high, roughly 17% higher than the previous record. Those searches included thousands of advanced examinations where officers copied and analyzed every file. Another New Brunswicker heading south to see her fiancé says she was shaken too. Angela DeGille reports she was handcuffed to a bench while agents rifled through her bags and phone. For hours, she had no idea why. Even her fiancé, waiting in the U.S., could only watch as her personal items, including a ceremonial drum and some prescription medicine, were taken for inspection. DeGille's ordeal is raising fears that even personal belongings can become evidence under these new procedures. U.S. officials insist this is standard border procedure. By law, agents have broad authority to examine any traveler's electronic devices. Critics point out the timing of the surge. It coincides with President Trump's new hardline immigration policies. Trump has vowed to shut down the flow of illegal drugs and unauthorized migration. Experts say agents have always had these powers, but now they're using them with unprecedented strictness. Immigration lawyer Heather Siegel warns Canadians are being grilled more than ever. Says they're not doing anything new, just exercising discretion much more intensely. The ripple effect is obvious. Statistics Canada reports that cross-border travel from Canada to the U.S. has plummeted. In June 2025, Canadian trips to the United States were down nearly 30% from the same time last year. Families who used to drive down for weekend visits or shopping trips are now hesitating. Students and tourists are rethinking plans. Even commercial traffic is slower, as extra inspections mean delays at the crossings. Canadians are worried. Crossing the border now often means being asked for passwords to unlock phones and laptops. If you refuse a search, U.S. agents can detain you or seize your device. In response to growing concerns, Ottawa updated its travel advisory to the U.S. in April. It now explicitly warns Canadians to expect scrutiny of all electronics and documents at the border. The advisory reminds citizens that U.S. agents can search phones, laptops, and tablets without cause and can seize anything found on them if it violates any law in the United States. Under even official assurances, many Canadians remain uneasy. U.S. authorities insist the measures are lawful and aimed at security. One DHS spokesperson told reporters that travelers with nothing illegal to hide have nothing to fear. But Canadians of all backgrounds say this does little to ease their concerns. Under these strict new rules, even everyday privacy feels at risk at the border. Small business owners are feeling the impact. Hotels and restaurants near the border report fewer American customers, and Canadian shoppers crossing for day trips are thinning out. Shipping companies warn that extra screening is causing bottlenecks. Perishable goods like fruit and seafood risk spoilage if trucks are held up. Manufacturers that rely on timely U.S. shipments of auto parts or medical supplies must now build in delays. Altogether, businesses say the new rules add cost and uncertainty to trade. Analysts warn this slump could have ripple effects in both economies. Small towns along the border may feel the pinch if travel stays depressed. Local chambers of commerce report quieter shops and restaurants and worry about long-term damage to border communities. Politically, the scene is clear. The United States is setting the rules at its own border. Under President Trump, U.S. Customs and Border Protection is aggressively enforcing laws that had long lain dormant. Officials say this is to protect Americans, tackling fentanyl and other threats. But critics see a clear America First message. Canada's response so far has been limited. Ottawa has mostly warned travelers to know their rights and be patient, with few concrete actions. Observers say this hands-off report shows exactly how little influence Canada has. For ordinary travelers, the once easy crossing has become a high-stakes ordeal. Crossing now feels like a truly serious ordeal. Stakes have never been higher. For Canadian travelers, these changes hit home.